Golf instruction is kind of funny because there's a vernacular. Everybody's got, there's a golf vernacular, then certain people develop their own terminology. Now, I didn't really want to have too many terms because I didn't want to confuse people, but it had to be accurate. So we've got, 8 principles, and you should be able to evaluate every swing based on 8 principles. So whatever swing fault they want to call it, you can just understand like movement principles, and that's how you can sort of fix it. Now, if you understand the movement principles, it's off. If you can find like a drill, and there's usually just 3 drills that'll address most of the problems. Now you're addressing the swing issue by addressing the movement principle and not trying to make a fix with just say the club face or the club head, which is something that's really typical. So if I'm evaluating my impact position, say I'm here, right? And I come into the ball and I'm like this. And that's fairly typical even for some good players. Well, do I have midline? No. Hands aren't on midline. I don't have center of gravity control either because they're far away. That's a long lever length. So that means I don't have physical advantage. I haven't gathered the club on my midline or close to it. I don't have centripetal force because I can't rotate within my base of support. I can't feel the heavy point because it hasn't happened yet. I don't have ground reactive force, and they're not integrated. So I'm 0 for 8 in that position. But I got nothing. Now, if my impact's here, I've got midline, I've got center of gravity control, right, because my center of gravity is low and I've got it close to my body. That means I got physical advantage. I've gathered it on my midline. That means I'm in my base of support. I have centripetal force. I can feel the heavy point. I got ground reactive force. It's all integrated. I'm 8 for 8. And it doesn't matter, like at a different level, now I'm hitting a bunker shot. I'm hitting a driver here. Right? I'm hitting an iron. So one of the ways I'm going to use the principles, or tomorrow when we go out to hit balls, it's like, well, that's a lot of stuff to remember. It's like, well, it is because you're learning the definitions. But with my guys, once we do these drills, and the drills we'll do this afternoon are going to sort of elaborate on what we're doing right now. Really, all I want you to do is feel your hands relative to your midline and groove that in. And I want you to be able to manage your center of gravity relative to the ball so you can control trajectory. So it goes like this. We already know that's an arm wrap that goes left. That's a drift block that goes right. If I do it properly, that goes straight. So I actually know it creates a left shot and a right shot. Because a fade is just a faster midline than my club face. It holds the face off. A draw, midline slower, club face closes. So I actually know how to hit those 2 shots just with arms relative to midline. If I want to control trajectory, if I have my heavy point, my midline back here, club bottom is out, now I'm hitting up on it. That's a high shot. My center of gravity is a little bit ahead of the ball. Now I'm athletically managing my ball position. So now I'm going to hit a lower shot. I want to hit a 3-wood with a penetrating ball flight. I'm going to be pretty much dead level, right? I'm always going to have a shallow angle of attack, but I can control where my heavy point is because I know my heavy point's under my center of gravity. So if I can control my center of gravity, then I can control all elements of my swing, or my trajectory. Control my midline and my arms, I can control left and right. So now it's a shorter step to controlling my ball flight, right? Now what we'll do is we'll work with rhythm, and I'll show you how to use those things and hit those shots more with a rhythm sort of feel than just straight mechanics. Because a lot of people say, I want to hit a fade, I just aim it a little bit left and I swing left, right? But the problem is, if you do that and your midline stops, that's a double cross. So we got to teach you guys how to actually maintain the relationships, and rhythm's going to be what holds that part of the swing together. Okay? So you should be able to evaluate those swing faults or swing tendencies with movement. So the 3 exercises that we think you should be able to do, right? And really they're the core exercises. It's just really the toss. You want to get good at the toss. So you can do that forever, right? And now you can sort of feel the heavy point. You can feel when you're physically advantaged. That's a good one to do. You can do it left and right-handed. The next one, and it's sort of a core one, is this. It's just the toss and bump and the throw over the shoulder. So that addresses, well, everything that the toss and bump does, the ground reactive force, the rotation, centripetal force. and I'm moving within my base of support, and I get my finished position, right? So I'm maintaining my angles, and then the last one is the power throw, right? Obviously this one. Step over, boom. Because now I'm using my legs properly, using my spine properly, I'm generating a lot of power by transferring my center of gravity and understanding when it transfers and when it rotates. So if you get those 3 drills down, really those are the 3 drills that'll fix pretty much everything. If you think about, now here's the challenge, think about your swing fault or your swing tendency, like if you know it fairly well, and think if you did each of those drills well, would it address the drill, like your tendency or not? You got a tendency towards a high center of gravity, lateral drift and a lean. Both of you guys do a little bit. But you also sort of bring it around and back. If you do those drills, and then it really addresses those problems, right? So you're looking for an elegant solution is what you're looking for. So if I can do a minimum amount of drills really well and have that correct itself, that's my goal. So the idea is I perfect my ability to do those drills, and then say I go out and I get that little high drifty shot, and I know it's because my center of gravity is high and it's drifting this way. Well, that's when we go, well, just do that toss over the shoulder drill 3 or 4 times, get it so it's perfect, because we know you can do it perfectly. There's not a whole lot of instruction. Grab a club and then hit a shot and see if it improves. If you do the drill well, it should improve. That's a whole lot easier and takes a lot less time than going and sort of reviewing your fundamentals and all that type of thing, or getting somebody to make a fix that's a club head fix. It's a systemic problem. So this is more of a systemic fix. You've got rhythm, you've got all those things. You're working on all of those principles if you're doing that drill, and that's the idea. So that's, you know, for somebody that's doing the drills well, that's a fast fix for you. And then we'll show you how to use it at a bunker, you know, irons, woods, that type of stuff.